Hello and welcome to the Matt Chambers Show, connecting people, places, and ideas. I'm your host, Matt Chambers. This is the podcast about living, traveling, and doing business internationally. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories and actionable insights to help you create a life beyond borders. Tune in and turn your dreams into reality. So tell me a little bit about your background and how you became an expert in immigration law in El Salvador.
Okay, so I'm a diplomat career and a lawyer, so I've
Mhm.
been 20 years a diplomat. I was posted in Chile, in Japan, and in the United States. I was working for the United Nations at the Permanent Mission of El Salvador for 5 years, and then I became Consul General of El Salvador
Mm.
in Georgia. So that's why I start my passion in migration because we have 2-3 million Salvadorians in the United States. So I take care of them for 8 years. So I start my passion of immigration, and also how you live abroad in the best condition,
Mhm.
how you connect with the culture, how you really realize as not native of this country, but you became an agent of change in that country.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm a lawyer by career, So I start to work more with US, Canada, and Europe, all the people that wanted to migrate.
Mhm.
But now with the boom that El Salvador have, now we have a lot of cases of people that wanted to come to El Salvador.
Yeah, no, it's getting crazy down there, and a lot of the native Salvadorians are trying to come back too because of what's going on in El
Okay.
Salvador.
Yeah, definitely. So we're so happy. I think I can tell you, Matt, we start everything in 2000 when we dollarize our currency, that is dollar.
Mhm.
But in 2021, we start the cryptocurrency. We adopt as a legal currency the Bitcoin. That's a huge start. And also, all the efforts that the government is doing to come to bring investment to El Salvador. And also, which is the most important, and I think that will be a high success, was the control the security and safety in El
Mhm.
Salvador.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now we are just level two. You know what is you know that the embassy or the Department of State put different level the country. Like for example, if you come to El Salvador, you have a level three. You have to be careful. You have to do just to go to some areas. But now we are 11-2, which is like you definitely can come to El Salvador and feel more safe.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they do it by colors, right? It's like
Yes,
yellow and
by
red and
level.
orange.
Yeah, definitely red. You're not going. So
Yeah,
now we are level two. So we're
yeah.
happy for that.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Bukele's done a heck of a job down there. I was telling someone the other day that, my dad works with a guy from El Salvador in the States. And he was telling my dad that when he was a child, he was literally walking over dead bodies to get to school.
Yes.
And now you just don't
Even
see that at all, right?
no, at all. I'm from the 74, so the war started at the 80s. So we definitely I remember, when we heard the bombs, when we hear the all the war, even though I was living at the capital, not at the rural areas.
Hmm.
So now we're really happy that we can walk in the streets. Some things that you think is normal in El Salvador was not normal. So now you can walk, you can do have your business and feel safe and feel okay that nobody's going to come and rent you or ask you for money. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, so from what I understand, the people have really gotten behind Bukele's ideology over there, and they're helping to police El Salvador just as much as he is and the police are, right?
Yes, definitely. You want to go to a country that you feel safe. In the past, maybe we have the same resources or our um, highlights, which is our people, our weather, but the safety wasn't
Mm-hmm.
there. And now, with the policy that the government have, also something changed in the mind of the
Mm-hmm.
people. The culture itself, I think, is changed. The people from El Salvador, they are feeling that um, they have a high standards than
Mm-hmm.
before because we can do more things than before. We see in our country potential. So we from inside, change our perspective. That's why also now is changing the perspective from
Mm-hmm.
outside. But I think it's that we grow as a country, we grow as a culture, um, and that helps also a
Sure.
lot.
And with all the influx of foreigners coming into the country now and investing, what are the primary residency options in El Salvador for, let's say, for retirees, investors, even digital nomads?
Yeah, I would tell you maybe we have three, which is the peak or the most easy to get. For example, if you have an income from abroad, if you have properties that you rent, or even if you have job that is a online job, and you prove that you have 105,000 per month, you can
Wait,
come to El
wait,
Salvador and
you
get
mean
a
one
resident. It's
thousand
called,
five hundred dollars, right?
yeah, 1,000
Oh,
one
okay,
thousand
okay.
five hundred. Yeah. You can come to El Salvador and get this temporary resident for rent. It's called that's rentista is in Spanish. It's not have exactly a translation
Mm-hmm.
in English, but it's because you have your money, you have your income, and you just come to El Salvador, but you don't work here. But you will have a temporary resident here. That's one possibility. The other possibility is if you're a retire. If you retire in any country of the world and you want to come to El Salvador and you have more than $1,000 per month, also you can get a
Mm-hmm.
temporary residence. For these two residences are for 1 or 2 years, and you
Mm-hmm.
can renew it. And then the third most common resident, but you need money, is as an investor. As an investor, you have to have 1 million, for, more than 1 million to invest. And then you have the
Wait,
investor
1 million,
visa.
but
Those all,
$1 million? Wait,
yes,
you have to
$1
invest
million.
$1 million to come to El Salvador?
As an investor, as a residency investor, you have many choices. This is just as an investor. Then you have, if you have business, that's another residency. You know, I'm telling you, maybe now the new one and the most popular, which is the one that you can have an income from abroad and then you can become a resident. That you just need $1,500.
Well, hold on. So one one
Also, if you
million
are,
one million dollars is a heck of a lot of money for an investor to invest into El Salvador.
yeah, yes, yes, you know that now. Have you heard about the golden
No, tell me
visas?
about that.
Okay, I will tell you. And that's something that comes in the future also for El Salvador. It's called the golden visa. A golden visa, they have it in Europe, they have it in some Caribbean
Mm-hmm.
island, they have it in some other part
Mm-hmm.
of Europe, and also they have it in the US. in an investor visa. So if you do an investment, or if you buy a property, or now in El Salvador, even it will be if you invest in cryptocurrency, you will have, like, it's called like a freedom passport. You will get a passport because you do an investment. They have it in Italy, they have it in Spain, they have it in Solomon Island, they have it in Malta, they have it in Bahamas, they have it in different countries. It's called the Golden Visa. So now it's coming the future for El Salvador. If you invest 1 million in cryptocurrency, $1 million in cryptocurrency, you will get the
Is it
residency. It's called freedom
1 million
passport.
American dollars or 1 million Salvadorian?
No, we don't have, we have US dollar as a
You have to
currency.
invest a
So it is
million
$1 million.
dollars to get in El Salvador. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but that's one choice. That one, I wanted to
Uh-huh.
open you all the
Yeah,
choices
for
that we
sure.
have. That's one choice. I already explained you the other two choices that are super easy. And if you're retired in the United States, definitely you will have as a retirement more than $1,000 per month. Yes or no?
Ask me that again. I kind of missed that.
Okay. If you retire in the US, you will get a retirement more than
Yeah, I
$1,000
mean, I
per
would say
month.
most people, yeah, significantly more.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay. So if you are one of those people, you can come to El Salvador, live and resident. I have a temporary resident in El Salvador and live with the climate that we have, with the opportunities that we have, with time is money in El Salvador because everything is so close. If you want to go to the beach, or if you want to go to the volcano, if you wanted to um, climb a mountain, you can do it in one day.
Do you need reliable shipping across Latin America and the Caribbean? CaribbeanShipper.com specializes in delivering from the U.S. straight to your door in Colombia, Panama, and Argentina. And yes, they also serve the Caribbean from Turks and Caicos all the way down to Trinidad. Right now, they're rapidly expanding in Medellin, Colombia, and quickly growing their presence in Panama and Argentina. With door-to-door tracking, insured shipments, and seamless customs handling, they've got your shipping needs covered. So whether you're a digital nomad, a retiree, or a business scaling internationally, Caribbean Shipper is your trusted partner. From consolidating online orders to shipping full container loads, they ensure your packages arrive safely. So register today at CaribbeanShipper.com/register and let them take care of your shipping needs throughout Latin America and the Caribbean.
With how is the weather now? It's 26 Celsius all year around. So that's a possibility. The other possibility, as I said, is if you gain, not a retirement, if you rent properties in your country, you can come to El Salvador if you have more than $1,500 per month.
What's
That's another
amazing to
option.
me,
Another option.
is that they have these options that are so inexpensive to get a residency, and then the investor visa is so expensive. Like the
Yeah.
U.S. requires $1 million for someone. Like if you invest a million in the United States, you can get in. I can't imagine El Salvador is charging $1 million
Yeah.
to get that. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's mostly any place that you see, even in Europe, any country, is will ask you for more than $1 million because it's like you're buying a citizenship.
Well, but
You know.
typically in Latin America, I mean,
So
like in Brazil, to get that same investor visa, you can spend as little as $140,000 in the northeast of Brazil to get a residency. Like, and in Colombia, I think it's only about $80,000 to get a 5-year residency for a property investment. Or you're talking property investment?
no, I'm talking. Maybe we have to like understand what I'm explaining
Mm-hmm.
it to you. I'm telling you, if you want to be a citizen in
Okay.
El
$1 million
Salvador,
gets you like
a
automatic
citizenship.
citizenship.
If you want to get a yes,
Okay. Okay.
that's and then we have a temporary residence. Yeah, then we have temporary residence. Then we have permanent residence, and then we have a
Okay. What's the
citizenship.
property
You know,
investment?
if you want to have,
What's the
I'm sorry.
property investment to get a tipper?
Okay, if you wanna be okay, that will be the golden visa, but it's not all the requirements and all the details is not out there
Okay.
yet. If you want to get the golden visa, yeah. But now we have different residency. As I tell you, it's called
Okay.
rentista. Then you have the retirement. Then you have, that's another one. If you met a Salvadorian woman or a Salvadorian man and you're so happy with them and you're gonna get married, then it's another way to get a residency through
Mm-hmm.
marriage. You can get through marriage, you can get through by work, also by study. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
study in El Salvador, if you want to work in El Salvador, or if you get married. That's another way to get a residence. One thing that is important, you can get a temporary
Mm-hmm.
residence for 3 years, and then you can get a permanent resident for 2 years more. So in 5 years, you then get a citizenship.
Gotcha.
That's like the process.
Gotcha. So
And what you need
in
is
the beginning, it's going to be mostly a 3 year residency, and then once you've been there for 5, then you can apply for citizenship. Okay, gotcha,
right.
understood. Okay, so it sounds like there's a ton of options and a ton of easy ways in if you want to go live there.
Yeah. Yeah, and from 1,000 to
Hmm.
more than
Yeah,
1
all the way
million.
up. Yeah, and you could start off with something
Yeah,
basic and easy, and then
exactly.
decide if you like it, and then if you do, then you can invest money later.
Yeah, and actually, just yesterday, I think they did a ceremony for naturalization for 50 person that they come from China, Russia, United States, Spain, for different part of the world. They just get citizenship from El Salvador
Wow.
yesterday. So there's a lot of people coming
One
now to
big
El
question that
Salvador.
I have is if someone were to get a full time residency, let's say just digital nomad, student visa, or any of those other ones that you mentioned, even the retirement and the rentista, and they stay more than 6 months, does that make them a tax resident and then they have to pay tax in El Salvador, or are they exempt from tax in El Salvador?
After 200 days, you became a
Mm-hmm.
taxable person. But we have one thing. If your income are for outside of the El Salvador, is tax free, is
Okay.
tax exemption. If your income, yeah, but after 200 days, if you live in El Salvador, if you work in El Salvador, you are
But
taxable.
if all your income comes from somewhere else and not in El Salvador, then you can live there 5 years, 10 years, however long you want. You're not paying taxes. That's amazing.
Right.
That's incredible.
Right. Because we are like a yeah, we are like a territory taxable, or territory
Mm-hmm.
fiscal, So we tax you, we what you what you make here
Gotcha.
in El
Wow,
Salvador.
that's incredible. And so let me ask you, for those people that are trying to invest, in whatever in El Salvador, what are the legalities of that for transferring funds down there and buying property, and how do they avoid potential scams? Sending their money to the wrong people. Do you know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I would say always go through the most common channels, like a bank that is well known in El Salvador. You can do a transfer. You're just going to pay a fee, but don't transfer, for example, or you can open an account here and then transfer your funds For example, if you have an account in Bank of America and you wanted to transfer your funds to El Salvador to El Banco Agrícola, you just do a wire transfer or an international
Okay. And then you
transfer,
just pay for your property from that.
and then you will have your funds here exactly
And
from there. That's, I think we said, the safety way to do it.
and you can help, I mean, as an attorney with all those transactions, right? To make sure everything comes through okay.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And that's, important also to get the right information and the right people and make a research, not just to, oh, I found this super offer or the super deal for you. You have to do also research, like everything in life, you just don't buy because you see that something is cheap or nice. You have to get to know more where is the location, who is selling the property, also all the legalities. So that's
One of
important.
the things that I think Americans typically have problems with is, in the States, if someone says they're an attorney or someone says they're, um, you know, they're legal in any way, Americans can trust that because of our legal system, right? If someone screws you over in the States, you can sue them, you'll win. And, if they actually did something to you. But that doesn't work the same way in a lot of foreign countries. So I think Americans sometimes can be too trusting. And I've heard a lot of stories in different parts of Latin America, never in El Salvador yet, but in different parts of Latin America where people have sent money to buy an entire apartment in cash and the people just disappear with their money. So you have to be really careful how you do these transfers and who
Yeah,
you do those with in foreign countries.
yeah. Definitely, you have to do a research, and also, you have to go, for example, for the well-known or most known. If you want to buy something,
Mm-hmm.
real estate companies. There is established real estate companies in El Salvador, so you can uh, go from these companies. And also, if it's a lawyer, we have an authorization for the for the court, so if they have to show you that we have a card, that we are authorized as a lawyer. And also, word by mouth
Mm-hmm.
works a lot. If you know somebody that but recommends you that because you work with them, so that's another way. Also research Google, all research Google. But you have to do a research because scam is anywhere. It's not just in El
Well, in
Salvador.
in
It's anywhere.
my experience, it's better to reach out to someone like yourself, right? Even if they're looking if they're looking in the real estate sector, and even though you're not directly in the real estate sector, if they reached out to an attorney like yourself and just asked for advice, hey, who are the most reputable real estate people to reach out to? That's a good way to make sure you get connected with quality, trustworthy people. And then also, I've had good luck on many of the expat pages. A lot of times, foreigners, Americans will pop up and tell you their experience with different people on expat pages. But I certainly, like you said, wouldn't recommend just landing in any foreign country and just trusting the first person that you meet. Right? You need to do your research. Let's talk
Yeah,
about some of the
definitely.
fun parts of El Salvador now that we've done migration. What are your recommended hotspots for someone that hasn't been there? I haven't been to El Salvador yet, and what are the top 4 or 5 hotspots that you would recommend? Someone to tour.
Okay. You know that El Salvador is 21,000 square kilometers, which is maybe one of the
Mm-hmm.
smallest
It's small.
country in the world. You know that in 4 hours you can cross
Wow, I
the
didn't know
whole
that.
El Salvador. So in 4 hours, from east to west, and from north to south in 2 hours, I would say. Why, what I would say that I miss most from El Salvador when I was abroad was
Mm-hmm.
the ocean, the water of the ocean, the
Mm-hmm.
the smell of the ocean. how easy it's just to go to the beach. I can wake up today, even if I have meetings at 8:30, 9, I can go to the beach, have breakfast, look at the yeah, and eat and come back. Or surfing. There's a lot of people now surfing that they go at 4 a.m., watch the sunset, the sunrise, and come back. So that's, for me, is life. Not just to
Yeah.
see four walls
Yeah.
every day, to see nature, to feel it, to dive into the ocean. That's amazing. That's, for me, it's a life. It's more than one spot, it's life. Or if you're hiking, if you like to hike, there's, how many volcanoes we have. You can hike at least five, six, that they also have the I think the crater, the
Yeah.
of the volcano. You can go all the way up and see, which is amazing. And they also have like a ways that you can go. They have people that help you to go. So it's a lot of tourists going now to the mountains. Also, the gastronomic. We have now really good food from different taste. Now we have more vegetarian. We have even gluten free. We have also our traditional foods, our pupusas that are amazing. And I actually know that the pupusas are vegetarian. It's just corn and loroco.
No.
You know what is loroco? Yeah. Loroca is a little plant that grow in El Salvador. So we also mix the cheese and the loroco and inside the pupusa, and it's a taste. It's a really strong, good
I keep
taste.
hearing about this
Loroco.
pupusa thing. I can't wait to get there and try it. I've never tried one.
Yeah, they are really good. I love them. Now I ate just one or two. Before, when I was young, I
Are
ate
there any
five.
specific areas or towns or beaches that you would recommend to people? Like, if I'm coming in for 1 week into El Salvador, what are your top 5 places that I need to see during that week?
Okay.
Hmm.
El Sunsal, El Tunco, which is en La Libertad. Then you can go to El Espino, El Cuco, and San Miguel. San Miguel, we have San Miguel, La Unión, Morazán, which is the northeast of El Salvador. Is further from San Salvador. If we always take San Salvador as a point, from San Salvador to San Miguel is like three hours, but the beach is amazing, amazing. And then also we have, it's called the Fonseca Golf. It's a golf, you know, that connect to Nicaragua. You can see Nicaragua from the
Oh, wow.
Fonseca Golf, and then you have the most amazing shrimps, the most amazing seafood because it's
Sure.
fresh, fresh, fresh. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's
No, that's
amazing.
awesome. Oh, that's
I
awesome.
really love
Well,
seafood.
thank you so much. How do we reach out to you? Someone that's looking for your services, immigration services, or anything else in El Salvador?
Okay, you can go through my website, which is www.puenteparaunmigrante.com, or you can reach me to Facebook, Instagram, but Puente para un
Okay.
Migrante, Claudia Valenzuela, that I'm also
Claudia
there.
Valenzuela.
Yeah,
Okay. Perfect. Uh,
Claudia
Good deal. Well,
Valenzuela.
thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming on today, and we will talk soon.
Thank you so much for your time, Matt, and for be interested in El Salvador, which is now is growing so much and is an amazing country with
Absolutely. I
amazing
can't.
people. So thank you
Absolutely.
so
I can't
much
wait
for
to
this
experience
time.
it. I'm ready.
Yeah, we wait you
I'm ready. I'm going to
here
reach out to you when I get
anytime.
there. Thank you for joining us on the Matt Chambers Show. I'm your host, Matt Chambers. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show to help others discover it. Until next time, keep traveling, keep doing business, and keep living beyond borders. See you soon.